My name is Ti0. I started my journey with healing, empowerment, consciousness, spirituality. I started this journey completely by accident. I started it uh, by with the intention of getting high on drugs because I had a substance addiction. I was smoking pot very heavily for 9 years and some other substance too. And then I tried some psychedelics and I heard that ayahuasca is the most powerful psychedelic. And of course, I had to do it. So I went with the intention to do ayahuasca to get high. And what ended up happening was the the most spiritual experience I've had to date. I've even though I've done ayahuasca hundreds of times after that, to date I've not had that kind of a spiritual experience. And of course, that completely shifted my life because at the time that I started this journey, I was completely skeptical, agnostic, did not believe in anything. I hated self-help, spirituality, psychology, religion because I am from India and they're trying to shove that down your throat all the time. If you like it, great. But if you don't, you tend to go to the other extreme because you start realizing that everything is full of shit. Everyone is just talking, but what they are doing is the complete opposite of what they're preaching. So I was completely turned off from this. And that has been my attitude till today. I'm still very skeptical. I'm still very agnostic. And the way I teach also is along those principles. I always ask people not to believe what I'm saying. Try it out, apply it, see what works for you, and use what works for you. You don't have to take everything that I'm suggesting. And I'm only ever making suggestions and sharing my opinion. So you're completely free to disregard them and to ignore them. You don't have to agree or disagree. You can just drop it. And a bit of my background is that again, before coming here, I was working in software development and cybersecurity. So I come from a very different background. Like I do not have a background in anything related to this, or at least it doesn't look like it's related on the surface. And then when I had this deeply spiritual experience, I completely changed my life. I started transitioning into training and apprenticing to work with ayahuasca, consciousness, psychology, shamanism, spirituality, like the whole spectrum of things. And again, like I went with the attitude, or I had the attitude that I was only taking what worked for me. I was not just believing something. I was always testing, evaluating. And so even when I am talking about philosophy that is related to any of this, my philosophy tends to be experiential. It's something that can be applied, it's something that can be worked, So unlike saying dropping all expectations, my philosophy is learn to work with expectations, learn to work with disappointment and rejection. That is a bit about me and how I operate in this world. Like just about this course specifically, well, I'm only offering 2 courses, and both the courses are basically just extracts of my own journey. Whatever I have learned, whatever I have experienced, I have condensed it into these teachings, but they are super incomplete. They are very far from perfect. My aim is not to create a complete teaching. My aim is not to create a perfect teaching. My teachings are dynamic. They are always evolving and adapting to the person and to the world, which is always changing. So I may teach something today that is irrelevant tomorrow, and that is fine because I don't expect my teachings to work all the time. Some teachings may be perennial or they may apply across long periods of time, and some teachings are just very specific to a particular person, and another person needs the complete opposite of that teaching. So that is my style. I call it consciousness nomadism because It's just translating what nomadic life looks like in the physical world is never fixed in one place, never belonging to a particular system or country or anything. It's to be free. It's to be free of any particular belief system and allow yourself to flow and adapt as required.